on a star. Carry moonbeams home in a jar. And be better off than you are.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Film Seizure. I am Jeff Arbuckle.
I'm Jason Oliver.
And I'm Chuck Moore.
And so we are here at the epicenter of the month of gigantic swings and misses when it comes to movies. And I called this movie like the singularity that this whole month has collapsed into.
And I almost didn't expect that. Like, it is far bigger wreck than I even remembered.
I had no idea this movie was going to be this bad.
Yeah, but it is the epicenter, black hole, whatever you want to call it.
Like, everything in our lives have led to this moment in which we're talking about 1991's Hudson Hawk, originally titled The Adventures of Hudson Hawk, if I remember correctly. But wow, this is one of the worst movies we've ever watched for this show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easily bottom 5.
Yeah, it's inexplicably bad. And it's one of those movies where I just don't understand why it exists and who it was made for and who they actually thought was the target audience.
My thought is, Chuck's got to look like I love this movie. You laughed a lot more than I was hitting things.
Well, you're right. It's one of the worst. It's one of the worst movies I've watched for doing this show, for sure.
And we watched
also,
Nightwish.
Yeah, but it's more entertaining than even some of the better
Nightwish.
films.
Nightkiller.
Yeah,
right.
It's pretty entertaining for a bad
movie.
It
is. Okay, let's say this. We're going to shred this movie over the next hour or so. But to go ahead and spoil the surprise, I would recommend this for a bad movie night.
Absolutely. It is on the level of inexplicably bad that makes it fun to just absolutely tear into.
But never watch this alone or you may go insane.
Yeah, you got to watch with people because the reactions of people feeding into each other is what makes this a great experience.
There were times where I'm just sitting here just stewing in my own displeasure.
Oh, you were mad,
and it was bringing Jason along for the ride.
I'm still like it's one of those movies where I'm like I had to watch it with my through my hands.
Yeah,
like people watch scary movies. I was watching that like that, because I couldn't believe what I was seeing half the time.
Yeah, my arms hurt from holding them up in disbelief.
That was a choice.
Yeah,
to tie back in the Catholic Church here, Chuck was doing his best impersonation of Touchdown Jesus.
Yeah, it was like I got shot in the neck with some kind of drug, and then I just couldn't move, so my arms were permanently up.
I mean, at one point I muttered, "I hate people from New Jersey," and Jason and I laughed for 27 minutes straight.
just cause, yeah.
This movie certainly puts you in that place.
Yeah,
weird.
Yeah, I mean, my thought is that this was made for old New Jersey wise guys who just sit around and drink whiskey and smoke cigars all day. I think that's who this movie is.
That's who the target audience was for. I mean,
$65 million for that audience.
Yeah.
No, I mean, really, because all of this is it's all wise guy one-liners, and it's like quick action back and forth, and it's like a bunch of inside jokes.
Is it, though? Are they inside jokes?
No,
these are jokes that land with certain people.
I think so.
Wise guys.
Because here's the thing: it's like everybody's too cool for everything, right? Especially Bruce Willis, right?
Yeah,
and he's they're whip smart back and forth, right? So it's like I feel like this is what guys who are just from the old neighborhood who grew up and never left that town, they've just stayed together for 40 fucking years, and they just talk to each other like that. And I hate movies like that. And co-writer Daniel Waters makes movies like that. Fuck you, Mr. Waters. You made Batman Returns, which the first thing I said after that was all of the jokes felt like they were all said under your breath. It's all said, and it sounds like something that you've said to somebody that landed with that person because they know who you are. But for the fucking Penguin or for the fucking Hudson Hawk, it doesn't fucking work. You asshole. I hate that guy. I hate that guy's fucking movies. Except for Heathers, which we'll get to that here in a few weeks. But I hate these types of movies where we're not let in on the fucking joke.
I think we were supposed to be. I think we were supposed to understand the joke.
Well, I guess.
Yeah. So they let you in. I thought a lot of them just flopped. They were just bad jokes, and maybe somebody would laugh at them.
I guess.
I don't know.
It's just not funny. It's just not. I mean,
No.
It's trying to be zany for zany's sake, but everybody is being zany. Like everyone in this movie is over the top. Nobody centers it in any reality.
But then you also have Bruce Willis trying to be the cool guy. Like he puts on his hat a particular way. He
I feel like
throws,
like we're supposed to identify with the Bruce Willis character.
But I'm not a fucking New Jersey wise guy, motherfucker.
So maybe you're right. Maybe it is for like the New Jersey cool guys.
I'm not that guy, and I fucking hate those guys.
But
Wow.
Yeah, we have no more. We can never go back to New Jersey. I've never been to New
You
Jersey.
can never go to New Jersey.
definitely
I've been-
not now.
I've been to Hoboken. I've had the pizza. It's
have-
pretty
Do
good.
they all
I
wear
have
those dumb
family in New
fuck hats?
Jersey.
Yeah.
Do they all wear those dumb fuck hats that
Yeah,
he wears?
and the long
oh
coats.
My God.
They all went to prison for 10 years.
Ugh.
For
Did
being
none
cat
of them
burglars.
none of them have seen E.T.?
Nope,
That's
none
how
of them.
long they've been in jail?
Yep.
This movie sucks.
So what was it about, though?
Fucking dumb fuckery. I mean, it's...
A whole movie about dumb fuckery.
Yes. No, okay, so Hudson Hawk's getting out of jail. He's never played Nintendo or seen E.T. like that. Who fucking cares, asshole? He's in jail, and he's being let out, and then he's going to get hired by a combination of the Vatican, the CIA, and a pair of wealthy assholes.
And his parole officer.
And he's somehow involved in there.
Yeah.
To steal the codex of Leonardo da Vinci to build a machine that does alchemy.
So yeah, there's a weird open to this movie too, of Leonardo da Vinci turning bronze into gold, and that's
No, it was
silver,
supposed to be lead into bronze, but it turned into gold instead.
Yeah,
And then he decided this isn't good, so the little crystal that was used in the machine is split up. Mm-hmm. And it's hidden in various works of his, but everybody knows what they're hidden in.
right. Somebody figured it out. I don't know how.
From what I suspect, everybody just knew it.
Oh, okay.
Because
Yeah, everyone knew.
nobody sat there and had that aha moment. It's like, oh my God, it's all in these things.
Well, so, I mean, when Butler broke the art piece over the one dude's head, they seemed shocked.
But not the butler.
No,
so
the
somebody
butler knew. Yeah.
Right. So we never knew how. The butler's name was Alfred too. Did you know that?
No, but that makes sense.
It sucks.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Jason's been watching videos on his phone.
There was this New Yorker. Oh, it's this New Yorker article that I just found that somebody wrote. It's like a reappreciation.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, exactly. And I was trying to like quickly scan through it, and it's just a bunch of like fucking stupid, like
Is it like a list?
like a reappraisal bullshit, right? And he doesn't come to any reasonable conclusion about why this movie is actually good.
to a reasonable conclusion.
Yeah.
It didn't.
No.
Now I get that joke.
Yeah.
Right, because like this. Okay, so there are jokes in here that are legitimately funny, or things that are legitimately funny in this
Right.
movie. Like there are multiple people who explode.
Yeah.
Always welcome.
Always welcome.
Yeah.
Great looking explosions of people.
Yeah, like on the level of Scanners, people just exploding from the inside
Heads
out.
being lopped off.
Yep.
Like there's
There's some stuff
good
like that. I mean, Frank Stallone's in here. He's
Yeah.
fine. you know.
And he has magic bullets that stop when they hit stuff.
Yeah. So okay. So
His magic glass.
here's one of these little things that I think is supposed to be an in joke that we're all supposed to be in on, but none of us are. Bruce Willis loves cappuccino.
Yeah.
And all he wants when he leaves is cappuccino, but something's always messing it up for him. Like he gets one from Danny Aiello, and they go over a bump and it spills most of it. Like, oh, it had the perfect amount of foam. Like that was the punchline.
Right.
It's like, that's not a fucking punchline. Anyway.
Yeah, it's like the jokes in The Big Bang Theory. It's like, why is that a joke?
You have to explain your joke.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's like this movie, honestly, I felt like it was missing on the laugh track. It's like,
if this was CBS should have this on every week.
Yeah.
With a fucking people losing their shit laugh track.
Bazinga.
I said the thing again.
So
Yellow said, "Did I miss anything?" And we all yelled, "No,
Oh,
you
he
didn't."
get to drink his coffee again. I don't know.
So they go to the bar that apparently was the old Wise Guy hangout again.
Yeah.
That Wise Guy hangout. And what happened? It's all been updated. So it's like now not only has it been updated, but I have a feeling that these New Jersey Wise Guys probably don't like the color in the place anymore. Also. No, seriously, like it's all it's like a mixed group. It's all and anyway, so he just wants to go there and get his cappuccino.
Right.
And he's about to drink that perfect sip of cappuccino from one of those ridiculous cappuccino machines that look like something out of a steampunk cosplay. And it explodes because Frank Stallone shoots it with a gun.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay. So I guess when the bullet kept traveling along, it didn't kill anybody.
It didn't keep traveling. I explained this to you.
It
was a magic bullet. It's a glass-shattering bullet.
He had a glass-shattering tip on that bullet, huh?
Yeah, and the
All
bullet
right.
just disintegrates once it's done its job.
Yeah. Once it hits anything. It's
Yeah.
I
vaporizes.
But yeah, I mean, immediately Jason at that point is like, oh, this is going to be a recurring joke for the rest of the movie. And it pretty much is 1,000%.
Yeah, because the movie ends on a freeze frame of Bruce Willis drinking his cappuccino and tossing the mug behind or the little cup behind him.
Yeah.
This movie also shows why every other country on earth should hate Americans.
Oh.
Because every American character, because most of this movie takes place in Italy or in the Vatican, right? Every American character is a fucking asshole. Like, why don't you go and order some French shit? We're in France. No, you're not, you fucking asshole. You're in Italy. You fucking asshole.
Ordering ketchup.
Ugh. Yeah.
Yeah. And they bring it out to him chilled on ice. It's like, what's the joke there?
The joke is that we're stupid and
but who's the
but we're better.
But was that a part of on the waiter, like trying to
make it
to
snooty?
make it snooty, right? Or was it a joke? It's like, oh, here is your ketchup, you fucking American. I present it to you in like this beautiful dish, to kind of show your
idiocy.
Your idiocy, yeah. I don't. But the movie's littered with jokes like that that just don't go anywhere. They're meaningless. They fall completely flat.
This movie is kind of like, hey Jason, and I raise up my cheek and I'm gonna fart. I'm like, you're gonna like this one. I'm gonna fart. I just shit all of my pants.
That would actually be funny.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But that's what this movie is. It's a fucking horrible accident that should have never happened. But somebody wasn't smart enough to say, maybe we shouldn't do this movie.
I have to think that Bruce Willis got this movie made because he agreed either to do, I know Die Hard 2 came out before it, but he had to have agreed to do something
It's a
that
passion
he wasn't going to
project or
do.
something. I don't know.
Passionate. It's very passionate.
Bruce Willis is 100% in it. in this movie. Like he is giving it his all.
I mean, he wrote it.
Right. This is not an actor who realizes he's in a bad movie.
No.
And it's just kind of like, shit, I just gotta like make it look good enough,
Right.
right? No.
But no, because Bruce Willis has been in many bad movies, and he knows he's in a bad movie, and he doesn't try.
Yeah.
He has given it his all.
Absolutely. He thinks he's making comedic gold.
Right.
Out of lead.
Out of lead.
Yes. But somebody took one of the pieces out of the credit. Oops.
Which in and of itself is fascinating, honestly. Like watching some of these people just absolutely go for it.
Right.
Like Richard E. Grant.
Oh my God.
Sandra
Bernhard.
They know what movie they're in.
Yeah.
They know. Andie MacDowell cannot do these things.
No.
She cannot do these things.
She did a good dolphin impression, though.
I do believe that Andie MacDowell, she's also not a great actress, but I also do believe she realized she was in a shit movie.
Probably.
Yeah.
She's like, well, I got to make.
She's
I gotta make
sleepwalking through this thing.
I think she does most movies.
That's fair.
But she's like, I got to make this if I'm going to make Multiplicity.
So it's weird. Yeah, Multiplicity. Yes. She touched my Pepe, Steve.
See, that's a funny joke.
That's a great movie. Well, great is whatever. It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a
I
good
enjoy
movie.
Multiplicity.
Yeah, I think most people
But
enjoy
Bruce
it.
Willis, a lot of the times, is at his best when he's in a movie that's kind of serious, but he's like smirky funny. Like you get a laugh out of him being his smirky Bruce Willis-y self. But it's not good when there's chaos around him.
Yeah, I would say that sometimes his Die Hard character does wear thin on me.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of movies for Die Hard, but the first, if you just take the first one,
Right.
where he's cracking jokes in a super serious situation and being
Because
smirky, it works.
It works because you feel like it's his dealing mechanism. That's
Right.
how he's dealing with this shit.
It also works because
It's also inner dialogue that's we're getting to hear too.
yeah, but it also works because he's not really that sure of himself either.
True.
In that movie, like
True. It's like,
he
dude,
morphs into a superhero as those movies progress. But in
Right.
that first movie, he's kind of just a schlub cop.
He's a schlub. Yeah, he's kind of a bad husband and a bad cop.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He's kind of just shitty at life in general,
Yeah, right.
which is kind of like watching him stumble through to become the hero is part of what makes that movie so much fun.
That and Unbreakable. He does the same thing in that movie.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
In a different way. But
In a less fun way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then but in this movie, he's like the coolest.
Right.
He
Yeah.
is the coolest.
Yeah.
And it's terrible.
So it's really weird. Like you said, the first 30 minutes or so, maybe not that long, of this movie is kind of serious. Or the
Well, or
tone
at
is
least-
not weird or
I
wacky.
didn't understand the tone of the movie yet. I felt to me like this was going to be a somewhat straightforward caper movie
With comedic element.
with comedic elements. Yeah. That's the movie I was starting to settle into. I was like, not a good movie,
Right.
but I was thinking the movie was definitely going to be one thing until it wasn't.
Right.
And probably around the time when they shoot a gun in a bar to explode his coffee cup when I started to realize, wait a
Chuck,
minute.
explain that.
I
God
know,
damn it.
but as when I kind of started to realize this movie is not the thing I thought it was going to be.
Right.
We were moving into zany territory.
Yeah.
And holy shit, did it go to some places I did not expect.
Because it becomes a cartoon.
Right.
A shitty cartoon.
Yeah, you have 4 I guess they're CIA agents that are named after
Candy
they're
bars.
eating their candy bars, and they're actually named after the candy bars they're eating.
And then they explain that fucking joke to us.
Yeah.
Because they used to be sexual diseases or something before that.
But
She was chlamydia for a whole
But
year.
that was
Yeah.
after the explanation was,
Yeah.
because it's like, do you get it yet? Candy bars. It's like, yes, we fucking get
Yeah,
it,
we
you
get
dumb
it.
fuck movie.
The scene though, the scene
God
though where
damn
it,
it.
where it definitely turns is the art auction scene.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's actually fun.
And that scene on its own is pretty fucking funny.
Yeah.
And it's probably more funny because it is the left turn the movie makes. right?
Yeah, because Richard E. Grant comes in.
Oh my goodness, and Sandra Bernhard.
Oh man, and they are chewing the scene. Like I understand, like Sandra Bernhard, you know she has that gap in her tooth. She had a piece of that scenery in her gap the rest of the movie because she chewed so much of it.
They did come in swinging.
This movie also had a runaway, like
Ambulance scene.
well,
It did have one of those.
it had a runaway teeth, stuck
Gag.
teeth gags,
Yeah.
like lots of
That was weird,
of prosthetic
too.
teeth in this movie.
That was weird too.
Yeah.
That was not necessary.
It starts right from the start with the Mona Lisa.
Right. That's why she's only smirking. She's
Yeah.
not smiling.
I guess I should have known then that this movie was going to be pretty fucking zany, but you kind of forget about that, I guess.
Right. It's kind of like, oh, that's funny, you know,
Right.
or whatever. But
If they're gonna put one of those jokes in every 5 or so minutes,
Oh, it's
that's
also,
weird, right?
The movie's also bookended by a faceless
Narrator.
that was telling it like a storybook, sort of like it's the
the
Princess,
Princess
Bride.
Bride. Yeah.
yeah,
Why?
I have no idea.
What was the point of that?
I mean, what was the point?
Well, somebody had to spend. Somebody had $65 million burning a hole in their pocket.
Right.
That's why.
Right.
TriStar was like, we need to spend this $65 million.
Let's give it to Bruce Willis.
Last week we talked about
and Bob Kraft.
last week we talked about pointillist mosaics. This week we got a pointless mosaic.
Oh, damn. Nailed it.
Wow. Congratulations. You just got nominated for a potty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Finally. So, okay. Now, funny story about this movie.
That we watched it and we're trying
Yeah.
to talk about it now.
That is funny.
This was the movie that I said, let's put a whole month around.
Yes.
And you were like, I don't know, man. I don't like watching bad movies or something. Something Jason would say. Chuck was like, I love that movie.
It's true.
I did love that movie.
Yeah.
But 12-year-old me, or 14, however
Chuck
old I
immediately
was.
starts singing "Swinging on a Star."
Yeah,
He's like,
dude.
"Yeah!" Puts his hat on.
Yeah.
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 Starts
I did.
grooving.
But so it was like, you were like, I don't want to do this bad month. We just watched something.
He was like, "Can we watch some good movies once in a while?" That's what he said.
I was
Yeah.
kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah, let's watch some good movies sometimes, right?
And I'm like, I don't know. Like, you were just mad about Street Fighter.
Yeah.
But it's like, we've been watching good movies. I want to watch some schlock.
We watched some bad ones though, and like Force February, it can be bad at times.
but
It's rough.
but it was more good than bad.
Yeah, but it's still not good. It's just kind of fun.
I mean, somebody has to talk about those movies, Jason. Somebody.
Yeah, I mean, like, and I look at March.
Chef agrees. He's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, dude, moving on to business.
Well,
You're right.
You're right. But like, how good was March? March was great.
March
We
was great.
March had, so, and then
But we hadn't done March when we discussed April. And so I was just kind of like, oh.
You guys are getting a peeling back the curtains effect.
right, and so,
Film
but
Seizure
yeah.
today.
but I was like, you know what, man? It's like we're coming in on March 1st. Let's do something where we talk about those movies that took a big swing and miss. And I was like Hudson
April
Hawk.
1st. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But then you finally relented because you're like, well, I've got some artsy fartsy
Because
shit.
I wanted to sneak some shit in. I was able to sneak in Cloud Atlas, and next week we're doing Southland Tales.
Right. And then you were like, I don't know, maybe The Postman. And I'm like, well, those are good movies. Okay, sure. Or at least those, are different,
Right.
are
Right.
quality films.
Did you enjoy Hudson Hawk? I'm sorry. Did
No,
you
go ahead.
enjoy Hudson Hawk, Jason? Did you enjoy your experience with the film?
If I had not watched this with both of you,
He wouldn't have made it past
I
the first
probably
act.
wouldn't have finished it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you had fun, right?
Sure. Yeah.
That's more
So
than
that's what we were trying. That was the whole point of the April swing and miss, like
Right.
April Fool's month. And then I was like, oh, okay, you're going to slide in some stuff. Zardoz is going to open.
I got Zardozed.
You did. And so then we placed this right in the center. little did we know that it ended up becoming that fucking black hole.
It's the epicenter.
It's the vortex.
We went past the event horizon.
This is the codex you'll need to unlock the other movies that we watched this one.
There it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we got to figure out how to bring that back around next week too.
Yep. I mean, they actually use that word.
They
in
did.
this- they literally
Yeah,
said it.
kind of weird actually.
Yep.
That came around.
So anyway, and now I remember. I guess I'll get into a little bit of the nostalgia of this movie because
I would say that I have more nostalgic memory of when this movie came out than I do about anything in the movie.
Right.
yes,
I remember two scenes like very well.
I remember the dog flying out the window.
I do remember that, but I
think
remember
that may
the
have even been in
ambulance
the
chase. Like, you can't forget that. That's
Are you gonna die?
yeah. Are you gonna die? I mean, that's funny.
Yeah.
And then the
there
ambulance,
is some funny stuff in
the
there.
ambulance blows up, and Hudson's like, "Oh, Mario Brothers, are you okay?" It was stupid, but it's hilarious.
Stupid.
I mean, he's driving a damn gurney
Yeah.
on the street.
Chuck just broke.
The most amazing part about that, though, is this is the stuff that drives me crazy, even in movies that aren't supposed to take itself seriously, is the whole thing had to have happened for him to have gotten onto the gurney and driven the gurney down the hill away from the ambulance
And rolls
right to where the CIA
That happens
agents are waiting for
constantly
him.
in this movie.
Right. But I hate that shit.
Yeah, I mean, but this is not a real. It's not a real movie.
It's
You're
not.
It is not a real
isn't.
movie.
You're not
And I
supposed-
think that was the thing. Like, was this marketed? How was this movie marketed? I always thought it
So,
was marketed
it was
like
the
like an action
caper.
adventure movie, like a
Yeah.
caper movie.
Right.
They gave you that. Go ahead, Jeff. They gave you that scene of them doing the first robbery and singing.
Singing when
song.
when
Yeah,
you wish
Swinging
upon
a Star
or whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
whatever stupid song it
What the
is.
fuck that song? Bruh. It's
that's
playing
what I
before and after
remember.
this.
Yeah.
You know,
In
you know, a
this episode.
good version of this movie would be fucking
Everything?
Would be Sneakers. The movie Sneakers.
he had to bring
I
it-
love the
I
movie
love
Sneakers.
Sneakers.
That is a good version of what
He's been
this
holding
movie's
on to the
trying to do.
Sneakers
You know
card
what's
all
funny?
month.
Funny about that is me and a bunch of friends went to see Sneakers, and we were expecting comedy, maybe something, less crazy than Hudson Hawk, but we were expecting a funny movie, and what we got was a good caper film.
Right.
It wasn't that, and we said for years after that, we joke, "Oh, that movie was good, but it wasn't that funny."
Right.
Like, that's
Right.
what
But
I
there's-
always think
but
about
there's
that.
But it
Still,
was
like, really-
marketed to be kind of
It was marketed more as like a comedy.
lighthearted,
yeah.
at least.
And it wasn't
Right.
really.
You know
No.
what? This
I mean,
movie,
there is a scene with a blind man driving a van, and it's funny.
Yeah.
and it works in the context of the story. It's just a well-made movie.
Hudson Hawk wanted to be Ocean's 11.
Yeah, it did.
But
It
with-
wanted to be like a Rat Pack movie.
Right.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
That's exactly right.
That's yeah. The New Jersey dudes.
The wise guy pack. So this movie, I've talked about this before many episodes ago, and I don't remember exactly which one, but I'm slightly repeating myself here. So MTV, when Kurt Loder, I think, was the guy who was mostly doing a lot of like movie news and like entertainment stuff, because he was like the editor-in-chief of Premiere Magazine or something like that also at the same time. But they used to do like little movie shows.
You love this show. Have you ever found him?
No, but in October they talked about horror movies. But also they used to do a thing in 1991 in particular. They had like a whole hour-long special about the summer movies of 1991, and they were showing clips of like Terminator 2, and they showed this. They showed whatever other movies came out, like Drop Dead Fred. They even talked about, and it's like, yeah, okay, that one's not going to be a big movie, but I love that movie.
That was a wacky, fun movie. That was
meant to be wacky from the start.
Yeah, because it's obviously it's imaginary fucking
Well,
fantasy
it's Rick
shit.
Mayall.
Yeah,
I mean, it's he's
throw Phoebe Cates in there instead of whatever her name is from this movie, and you got me.
right.
yes.
Yeah.
So this whole movie, like, and they had like interviews with people too, and so like and of course like. Fucking Bruce Willis is there in his hat and his fucking sunglasses and his triple earrings, and his, drinking at a cafe.
What the hell was with those earrings anyway?
I don't feel like he would have gotten those earrings before going into jail in 1981.
No, he got out in the 90s. He's like, let's put 4 earrings in
1 ear.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Was Danny Aiello waiting with the ear piercer?
Yeah.
Is
He
that
had a
the scene that was
potato
missing?
and a pin. Yeah.
Yeah. You're
That's what
earning
you
your
do. You put a
stripes.
potato behind-
and a pin. Yeah.
So he, anyway, and he was like talking about this movie. It's like, yeah, it's a caper and it's a good time with some good friends, or whatever.
Who was talking about this?
Bruce Willis?
Bruce Willis. Okay.
And so yeah, it's a fun action movie. I think the whole promotional part was like, catch the excitement, catch the adventure, catch the hawk.
Yes, I remember the poster. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
With him swinging through.
Right, and it's like, oh,
He does some
look.
swinging. There's some funny action in this movie,
Well,
too.
there is some fine action in this.
Yeah.
But the whole package is suck.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know, man. I mean,
It's just not funny.
it just doesn't work. And it's like, it was expected to be like one of the summer tentpole movies.
Right.
And it's like, think about this. This is the exact same summer. This was like 4 weeks or 6 weeks. This movie came out before Naked Gun 2.5.
Well, that's one of my favorite movies ever.
And that's a goofy comedy, and we knew it was a goofy comedy.
Right.
going
And
into
the
it.
jokes are funny.
And the jokes
Yeah.
are funny. This movie is like, hey, we got to get in on this parody stuff. Hey, all right, we got a dumb fuck script. Hey. It's like a greaseball fucking version of the Zucker brothers. Or
Yeah,
something.
and all the
know?
all the lines were weird. Like they called him Hawkmeister. Like what was it was like borrowing all the weirdness from pop culture.
Yeah.
and misappropriating it everywhere.
They're dad jokes.
Yeah, maybe that's why I laughed a lot. I'm a dad. I have 2 kids.
The last Boy Scout came out the same year. That's weird.
But earlier in the year, I think, maybe.
Was that movie a
Earlier or
flop
later.
too? I liked.
I think it kind of was.
I liked that
I don't,
at
I
the
don't
time.
really honestly remember it very well to say one way or the other.
I don't think it did particularly well, but I think it was one of those that was kind of dumped at a weird spot in the year.
Yeah, and it's a weird movie for having like a Wayans brother in it,
And it's got that really dark opening with the
and
with the
it has
football
a dark
player.
tone almost like through the whole film.
Yeah.
that I didn't expect when I watched it.
There
Yep.
were a lot of goofy comedies in '91, like City Slickers. What About Bob?
Yeah, see all of these things.
Hot Shots.
Yeah,
Funny.
all of these things written better
Yeah.
and more adeptly. Is that the word I'm looking for? Than this movie. Like this movie is a bunch of guys who don't know how to write comedy or write goofy comedy, writing a goofy comedy.
Right.
Because like, okay, we're going to talk about in a few weeks, Heathers. That is the one movie that Daniel Waters has written that I like. And, but that's not a goofy comedy. It's a satire.
Right.
Right.
And so in the satirical sense, that's a very well-written, well-designed little story.
Right.
This is a grand goofball comedy, and it's like you just can't do it, man. You just can't.
Well, there's also
get it done.
an edge to almost every joke in Heathers,
yes,
right? Like it is, and yeah, again, we'll talk about.
Well,
it in a
it's
few
of
weeks,
its
but
time. This is not of its time.
It's of its time, but it's also prescient in a way that makes the movie hold up even better. Like when it hit, everyone was kind of like, "Yeah, this is an amazing movie," and I probably saw it for the first time in the mid to late '90s, and was blown away by it then.
Right. Yeah.
And I watched it again a few months ago, and it was still blown away by it because of how just timeless it feels.
Right.
And the jokes are just perfectly crafted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but this movie wants to be like an old-timey, zany comedy caper movie with a bunch of Rat Pack like guys, and it's like at this like I feel like at any point in time, these characters would gladly give Frank Sinatra a blowjob, and that just doesn't work.
There's a lot of dick jokes in this movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of blowjobs,
Yeah.
a dog almost gives Hudson Hawk one.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
A
and
couple
even,
more
like-
minutes, I would have. Yeah.
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 Well, that's terrible.
Oh, it's
That
bad.
is like some of that stuff is real bad.
Yeah. It's like, oh God. Of course, there's a dog that goes for the crotch. And
Right.
It's just
He likes balls.
Yeah. And of
Yeah.
course, it's all set up by whatever the name of the dog is. Ball.
Yeah.
And then throws a ball, and it goes after the ball, and then it goes and gets the ball from Bruce Willis's crotch. Isn't that funny, guys?
It's hilarious. You know, it's weird though. 2 weeks in a row, a movie we watch has a character or characters that say the same word twice.
Yeah.
Like she said ball, she said something else, something, and I was like, that's true.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know, that's just funny.
Can we talk about David Caruso in this movie?
Yes.
This is so far his best performance that he's had
That
on
is that
this
on
show.
Film Seizure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny when he shows up first, before you talk about it, he's wearing the sunglasses almost like he's in CSI. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I mean, that was my first thought. I'm
Yeah.
like, he's doing the CSI thing. But go ahead. David Caruso.
What?
Yeah, what?
What is this character?
It's Kit Kat.
He's Kit Kat.
He eats Kit Kats.
He doesn't
Yeah.
talk. He communicates by giving
They're
you
named after candy bars.
cards.
Right, but the cards are pre-printed, but they all mean something.
Right.
Right, it's like he
that's
has a printer in his
I
pocket.
actually
That's-
kind of like that.
It's fine, but then there's this whole element to his character where he dresses
Yeah, he's a master disguise person.
right, but he disguises himself as other people
in the scene that they're in.
the scene that they're
Scene
in
that they're in.
for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
I wonder-
So really, what he's doing when he's disguising himself as another person is he's making himself stick out way fucking worse.
Right.
Well,
but I
but-
think that's supposed to be the
It's supposed to be the joke,
Yeah.
but why?
The first time when he comes out of the phone
Again-
booth and he's dressed like Hudson Hawk and he has the blood, like he just got in a fight with
and
the
he's
big
imitating him behind him. It's
dude.
like
That kind of cracked me up. It's
I don't
weird.
get it.
Yeah, I don't get
I
it
mean,
either.
I mean, like, I guess it's just one of those weird things. Like, of course, the CIA has a guy who's a master disguise artist.
Right.
He's got, but he's also a mute, so he could never really be serviceable.
Right.
I'm just trying to figure out and that why.
I mean, that's the whole movie, Jason. Couldn't
Yeah.
you ask that question about every scene that happens?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the whole point of the movie. It's trying to do
I'm
what
just trying to
Naked
imagine.
Gun did.
I'm just trying to imagine people in a room writing the script and thinking, "Yeah, let's make this character do this."
They're all-
why? Because we need something funny, and that will be funny.
yeah, it'll
Right.
be
Again,
hilarious.
it's guys sitting around. It's like, hey, you know what would be funny? You fucking wop. It'd be this guy. It'd be,
Canceled.
Jeff cannot go to New Jersey. New
No,
Jersey
but
is
it was-
closed
but-
to Jeff.
but no,
for
it
his
would be-
own
It's those
safety.
guys. No, it's like it's the guys in the cigar bar drinking their fucking bourbon or their whiskey, smoking their cigar, and it's like, hey, you know, it'd be funny. This fucking guy over here would be funny, and it's just some guy who never talks or something, and it's like they all think it's fucking hilarious.
It does-
The rest of us don't.
It does feel like it was written by a committee of those guys. Yes,
Exactly.
Yeah.
In probably the bar that they turned into the hoity-toity bar.
Right. It's
But-
like,
but
oh, we ain't
before
got
it was
these
the
places
hoity-toity.
anymore.
Because yeah, wouldn't it be funny if this bar was like a Wall Street bar?
Yeah.
But it was
and we
written by
let them
Bruce
black
Willis.
guys
He's
in.
not one of those guys.
Yeah, but he is.
But
He is,
he's
but he's
trying
not.
to
He's
be
trying to
one
be
of
that
these,
guy.
in this movie, and it's
Yeah.
like he's the guy who always comes like, hey, say one of your funny things, Bruno.
Yeah.
You know, and then he says something like and like everybody outside that room is like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck?
Oh, Frank Stallone has a fun little turn in this. As
As one of the Mario
one of
brothers.
the Mario Brothers, yeah.
This movie makes me want to put my head through a brick wall.
So, yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
I was just looking at some of Bruce Willis's quotes from this movie.
Oh,
that
great!
were like,
Hit us.
Oh, my favorite came late. It's the only thing I wrote
Are
down.
we going to talk about the movie? Like, I think what I was about to read Are we gonna talk about the movie as it progresses, or are we just gonna throw?
I mean, it just compounds zany that you can't even describe. It's almost an indescribable movie.
It's purposely convoluted, I think, as well, to just distract you from the fact that we don't really have a story here. Yeah.
Right. It's he is meant to steal. He's being called in to steal pieces of Da Vinci's art or stuffs that have the pieces of the crystal that will make the God machine work to turn lead into gold. And along the way, he starts sussing the fact that the fucking
everyone's involved.
CIA, these rich motherfucks, and the Vatican are all somehow involved and intertwined. And then he falls in love with a nun.
Yeah.
The end. And he drinks cappuccino.
One of the things about the nun, or just the church in general, and Jason appreciated this, was the phones.
That's funny.
Right.
That felt like a Naked Gun kind of joke.
Right. It's the Vatican as if the Vatican was MI6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have what is it, like a cross?
It's a crucifix.
Yeah,
and they're stationed all around like the Vatican. And they're secret telephone boxes.
Right.
And they light up, and it sounds like this sort of disembodied voice. This is the voice of God or whatever talking through them.
And it's a priest. It's a cardinal or something.
Right, it's the cardinal. And he's communicating with Matt, or I want to call her Madeline Stowe. Andy McDowell.
You do want to.
I want her to be Madeline Stowe. It would be a better movie. Anyway.
But could Madeline Stowe do the dolphin voice?
Oh, God. But when that happened in the underground Vatican like train system, whatever.
It's a post office.
The post office.
Okay, so the post office
that got a pretty good laugh out of me.
There is a funny joke there because the post office receives constant mail because of like asking for forgiveness, or there was something else that she said in particular that gets sent there.
Yeah, some kind
and
of.
So they had to build the underground railroad system of like just train cars full of mail from Catholics all over the world.
There was a guy in the background carrying a giant cross, like Jesus carrying his cross, you know.
But it was all packaged up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that does play an important part because at one point, so he's got to go in and steal the Codex, which is in an art museum inside the Vatican.
And he has a weird list of stuff he needs.
Right. He needs like olive oil. He needs 100 stamps. He needs... it was all sorts of weird, like hairspray.
Yes, so I know you want to get to that joke. 100 stamps, yeah, hairspray. But another thing that happens there when he's making that list, the girl with the elephant, like what the hell was that about?
Yeah, so there's like this precocious girl at the museum who's just sticking her tongue out at him.
Well, she's hitting the elephant on the stairs for no reason, and he looks at her funny, he looks at
her the way we look at this movie.
I was convinced that she was part of the.
I thought so too.
Of the villains group. Yeah.
So anyway, she inadvertently shows Hudson how the security system works, in which the security system drops a big cage down over the
around the Codex,
and then it fucking gasses everybody that's in
everyone
the room.
in the room.
It's like a Batman villain's plot. Yeah. It's so, and he does, and he triggers it by throwing her stuffed elephant.
Did he throw it or
yes.
did she throw it?
He did.
He did. Okay.
Because Andy McDowell says, "Oh, do you often steal little girls' stuffed animals or something like that?"
I thought she threw it. My bad.
No, he threw it. He took it from her and threw it because she's like, "Oh no!"
Yeah. I was doubly confused because I thought she yelled "oh no" and she threw it herself.
Right? So. Yeah.
I agree. I thought she threw it too.
No, he took it from her.
I believe you
because she.
I believe you as well. It makes more sense, but I don't give this movie enough credit to make any sense.
Right.
So
it's a one big why.
Why?
So he gets his list, right?
So he gets the list, and okay, so there's two jokes here. One that is completely and totally bonkers, and the other one that's actually pretty funny. So she saves him from the gassing,
right? By going through a secret Vatican.
By going underground into the fucking post office, and so he's written down all of his notes for what he needs to steal the Codex, and he gives the list to James Coburn, who's the head of the CIA candy bar guys,
right? He says,
"You got
get him
that?
What's on the list?"
Yeah. So then, and he's like, go shopping for him. And so the big dumb guy, Butterfinger, who is played by the guy who's Christopher Walken's big dumb son in Batman Returns, and is also Zangief in the Street Fighter, the original Street Fighter, not the original.
This is what Jeff was like the whole movie.
Yeah.
He was shaking his
Not
chair.
the original, the original one based on the video game.
Yes,
Yes.
the Jean-Claude Van Damme one.
Yes.
So, okay. Whew. And so anyway, he comes up to Bruce Willis and he's like, "Hey, Mr. Hawk, I got your stamps." To which Hudson Hawk turns to him and goes, "Good, Yogi." Like, is he Yogi Bear? Is he Boo Boo? What the fuck is that joke?
I have no idea.
Did he just think? I
Oh,
can do
that
a
guy
pretty
had,
good-
what was his name in the movie?
Butterfinger.
He was Butterfinger. So he had the weirdest.
We'll get to that here in just a minute.
All right.
We'll get to that in
Hold
just
on.
a minute. Yeah, we got to
So-
hold on.
so
we
him-
got to unpack this one piece of it. So then, what's the 100 stamps for, Chuck?
It's to mail him into the Vatican. It's so great. He's in a box, a big box with 100 stamps on. That might be my favorite
That's
joke.
the best joke of the movie.
Yeah.
Because he
It was
peeks
killing
out of
me.
the box like, "Oh, I got him."
Yeah.
And that's the best joke of the whole fucking
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, that's hilarious.
That's not the funniest thing in the whole movie. The funniest thing in the whole movie is when the auction guy in the first act explodes.
Oh,
Yes.
I love too how he swirls his
Yeah,
his
it's like-
gavel.
yeah,
he
he's
does the
lining
gavel
it up.
swirl. That feels like Naked Gun too, and he slams it down and it immediately explodes.
Multiple people explode in this movie.
Yes.
yeah, we get two
Fantastic.
first. That's
Yeah.
$60 million of the $65 million budget.
Right, because the other $5 million did not go to a joke writer.
No.
It went to Bruce Willis.
Yes.
Yeah, we talked last week about how the Matrix, the original Matrix, was made for like $65 million, something like
Something
that.
like that. 66, 60,
in the
something
mid
like that.
'60s. This
Yeah.
movie had almost the same budget
8
years
before-
earlier.
yeah.
Yeah. Holy shut.
Holy shut.
Holy shut it. Shut the front door.
I think you said holy shut before on the show. That should be your thing.
That's
Yeah, sure.
Holy shut.
Why not?
so okay. So then,
My brain is damaged.
yeah. So
Yeah.
then he takes the codex. He is not smooth at his job.
No.
That you see him earlier stealing the horse that had the first piece of the jewel, and he and Danny Aiello. That's always a tough.
It's a
that's
hard
hard
one.
name, man.
It's
It's
a
a
toughie.
mouthful. It's like talking with marbles in your mouth.
It's like aioli. I always want to say it. Yeah.
Danny Aioli.
Danny
Danny Aioli. That's his
there
new
you go.
name. I can't
Yep.
even say that very well.
Danny Areola.
But they're loud. They're really
They're
loud.
really loud. They're
Yeah.
singing like fucking assholes.
Yeah.
And it's like, you guys are not good at your job. Why
No.
would anybody hire you? Because you guys are fucking wise guy
But
assholes.
they're
Because
the
they're-
best.
They're that
the
good
best.
that they can afford to make fun of each other and yell real loud and do stupid stuff and still get away with it.
barely get away with it.
Yeah, but that's part of the fun. It wouldn't be great
Catch the excitement,
for
Chuck.
a movie, though.
Catch the hawk.
Yeah,
sure.
catch the hawk. But if he just walked in and walked out with no fanfare, like this movie would have sucked. And
No,
it didn't
I
suck.
guarantee you it would have not sucked.
That was my joke.
Okay. I wish we wrote the jokes for
Yep,
this movie.
yep.
Let's remake this movie.
No.
Yeah.
Chuck, you and I can remake this movie.
Yep. Jason can be Hudson Hawk.
Sure. Holy shut.
Holy shit. There you go. That's your one-liner.
Catch the Jarmo.
Catch the Jarmo.
So okay, so later, so then he gets the codex poorly, I might add.
Yeah, 100%.
Then he runs
He
off.
fishes it.
He fishes it out.
Yeah.
and
Oh
then
my God.
gets a guy trapped in the gas chamber.
Yep. God, he's smart.
Yeah. Huh.
He's a
That-
wise
Boy, this
guy.
is-
He's a real wise guy.
Then comes
Nailed
the moment I always remember from the trailer is him swinging. It's also on the poster.
Yeah.
Yes.
They really use that image of Bruce Willis swinging.
Catch the excitement.
He
Right.
swings multiple. It's like Indiana Jones, wise guy. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he swings. What happens next?
He goes out the window, I think.
He swings.
No,
and
he
then-
swings and he lands in the seat
Oh,
because
yeah.
he's supposed to go
I-
on a date with Andy McDowell.
Actually,
That's not the cut you like.
that's not the cut I like. I like the cut earlier where they jump down onto the awning
Yeah, and he
from the
he's-
first caper,
yeah.
and then it just cut to him sitting in the chair, with the wise guys.
with,
He like
with the
kind of
Mario
falls
Brothers.
into the chair.
But it looks like he falls into the chair.
Right,
Yeah.
that's a
when they
good
did
cut.
it, it's a good
That's a clever cut.
That's kind of like a fun movie.
Well, that's part
cut,
of that.
you know,
that
like,
early
Jason's
part.
dancing a little bit.
I'm dancing. I'm like, ooh, okay. You know, that's neato. I'm gonna like this, maybe. No,
Holy shit, that was awesome. That's what he said.
it's just the kind of fun filmmaking. You know, it kind of
Yeah, it was
gi-
a clever.
gives-
It was a clever transition.
Right.
But
Didn't
yeah.
waste a lot of time with them getting up and dusting themselves off. and
Right.
Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
It got right
Trying
to
to
the
tell
efficient.
more
The
shitty
first
jokes.
time the movie got right to the damn point.
The only time
time.
it got right to the damn point.
Yep.
So anyway, so they end up back at Andy McDowell's place.
But yeah, he does. He like basically lands in the chair. Does that
At the
happen?
table.
At
Yeah,
the table.
across from
And then
her.
I look at you and I say, "Did you like that cut?"
Yeah.
No. So
I'm
yes.
glad. I'm
But
glad
it's-
for
but it's-
once I didn't have to look at Chuck and say, "Hey, Chuck, you know what's going on?"
Yeah.
Because we knew what was going on. It just sucked.
Yeah.
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 But so then, okay, so then the candy bars are outside in the itty bitty little car. Now that's the joke. It is this car that Gizmo drives around in, but there's the two guys up front and Big Butterfingers in the back, like basically sitting on top of the car. Right?
And one of the other candy bars says, "What are they doing up there?"
right, and then Butterfingers like, "You guys want me to go rape them?"
Yeah, you want me to rape them?
What does he do? What is that joke?
And it honestly stuns them into silence too.
Yeah, they're like, "Read your book," and they
Yeah,
give
they
him
give
give
him a
Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, green eggs and ham.
But we had to like rewind it to make sure we
That's
heard
what he
what we
said.
knew we heard.
It's like, why? Why? What?
Do you want me to rape them?
Yeah, it's like, it's like,
Is
it's
it
almost
just like we don't know what else to put here?
No, it's the movie saying we can make anything funny,
Oof.
even a rape joke.
Oof.
And we know that only George Carlin can make a rape joke, and that is the joke of imagine Porky Pig getting raped by Elmer Fudd.
Yeah.
I mean, George Carlin's the best.
Yeah, so
mean-
but yeah, so it's like, but he's not writing this movie,
No.
and it's
Oh my God, he would have railed so hard against it. I'd wonder what George Carlin's thoughts on this film would have been.
I don't know. He's from New Jersey, or he's from New York.
That's what I'm saying.
He's from that area.
He's got a
he
bit
knows
of that
those guys.
streak. Yeah.
Yeah, he knows those types of wise guys.
Yeah. So what's happening? Where are we now? She's giving him a massage. Right? She's like, all of
Yeah.
a sudden they're in this weird.
Yeah, and then he wants to like fuck her, and she's like, I can't. And then her glowing crucifix goes off, and he's like, well, that's weird. And then that just is forgotten. And then he gets, I don't know, this
Then
movie.
Rapey McRape.
She notices the book
falls-
for the first time
Yeah.
somehow.
Oh,
She
because it
noticed
falls out of his bag. And he's
Yeah.
like, oh, it's not what it looks like. Oh, maybe it is what it looks like.
And then you
It's a
have
bad
the
joke. That's
whole.
always a bad joke.
Yes, that and his doing the. But I was.
Yeah, while she's
were-
like yelling at, and it's like, did
But
the
I can't-
devil make you do it, or did the whatever the fucking duo, the Mayflowers,
The Mayflowers, yeah.
or did the Mayflowers
Darwin
make you do it?
Mayflower and
Minerva,
Minerva Mayflower. Sandra Bernhardt and the other guy.
Richard E. Grant.
Yeah.
I'm glazing over.
Yeah.
Jason has shut down.
Yeah. Well, we haven't gotten to your favorite line yet.
Jarmo bot
Jarmo bot shut
shutting
down.
down.
What's your favorite line?
That's not even my favorite line. It perfectly illustrates how fucking stupid this movie
Yes.
is. The line is it happens after the beheading. The guy beheads himself
Yes.
with his own knives. Bruce Willis says,
Oh yes,
says,
this song.
"You won't be attending that hat convention in July."
That's the dumbest fucking line in any movie I've ever seen.
It's so bad. Yeah.
I mean, it's like I get. It's like, oh, he lost his. You lost your head. That's the better line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks
So
like
you
you
re-
lost your mind or something. Yeah.
You lost your head. You lost your.
Here, let me
You're
go.
no longer head over shoulders.
Yeah. Yeah.
For this thing. Ugh.
I mean, Bruce Willis actually says in this movie, if the Mario Brothers weren't New Jersey's third largest crime family, I'd say kiss my ass. But considering your status, I will say slurp my butt. That's like one of the jokes in
That's
this
so
movie.
bad.
Yeah, and then because you guys were like slurp my butt.
Slurp my butt.
It's like, and that's I think right about the time, Chuck, you said Is this being a PG-13 movie? Because at one point you also called out it sounded like they overdubbed the word fuck.
Which I think they did like 3 different times.
To like for some kiddie level. And it's like, no, I don't think that. I think this movie was an R-rated movie that wanted to be also funny for all ages. And it's neither. It's successful in neither.
Yeah, your joke receptor was off like halfway through this movie because I said, is this movie a comedy? And I was totally joking, and you're like, yeah. It is.
This movie has beaten me into submission.
It's all fused out.
My receptor is broken, Chuck.
You're like, hey, Chuck, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. How am I driving? 1-800, I'm gonna fucking die.
Oh, I hated
when he's
that
on the
line,
gurney.
too.
Oh my god,
Hated
so
it.
good.
But that was after, and that was after the better joke of, hey, mister, are you like gonna die
Yeah.
from the bimbo driving by? That's so great. That's a great fucking
That's
joke.
the best. That's the
And then he's like, then he says that, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like, nope, we don't have to have a joke here. Don't have to, but no, we had to.
It was jokes galore.
Yeah.
But I want to do community service. I want to teach the handicapped how to yodel.
Oh my god.
that's non sequitur.
I don't know what.
Yeah.
What is the joke?
Yeah.
What, handicapped people can't yodel? Like your legs don't work, so your yodel doesn't work? What does that mean? I think that's kind of being, what do they call that? This ableist?
Yeah, I don't know.
This movie's canceled.
So yeah, they
Somebody should have said that. We're calling this off.
I think this movie was canceled in 1991. The movie was canceled on arrival.
Yep.
It was dead on
DOA,
arrival. Sure. Yeah, it flopped. It flopped hard in the United States.
17 million.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it made its money back somehow overseas.
Yep.
I don't understand
They
why.
caught the excitement. Well, probably because when you translate this movie, suddenly fucking Italians like it.
The
maybe.
Italians might have actually liked this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, the Americans made their own ripoff. Probably of the Italian job. They ripped off our own movie.
I wonder if there's an Italian ripoff of Hudson Hawk, because that would be awesome.
I bet that movie's probably good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be the irony.
So everything kind of converges here, right? At this point, all of the
All
the
roads lead
groups
to
are
suck.
together, and Danny Aiello has shown up.
In Italy.
Tommy, right? His name's Tommy.
Tommy Five Tone.
Tommy Five Tone shows
That
up.
doesn't even make sense.
And I don't know, he's apparently supposed to get Hudson Hawk to make the third.
Yes, because the Louvre, he doesn't want to break into the Louvre, and he's starting to be suspicious about why.
Just now starting to be suspicious.
Well, no, but he was suspicious at the beginning
I know.
because he stole the horse, and then the newspaper the next day said that the horse, the theft of the horse was stopped by the 3 stupid guards at the museum, and he's like,
what was
hey,
the point of that even?
I do not know, because that's a dead end, because he's like, hey, I don't like the fact that, it's like, maybe I don't want to be named, but I kind of want credit for what I've done. Now nobody thinks I've done this thing.
Yeah.
And then
I want my street cred, bro.
yeah, and then 5 minutes later that is nothing. But he is kind of suspicious of like, hey, there's something more going on here.
Right.
Oh, yeah. James Coburn is in this movie.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What does he do in this movie?
He's the head of the candy bunch.
He's the head of this.
Yep.
Just, yeah. Oh.
And he does karate.
Yeah. He does do
I wonder
karate.
if
That
that.
made
I
me
wonder
laugh.
if that doo-doo-doo-doo sound came from in like Flint movies.
I don't know.
The movie that the sound they use in Austin Powers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. Well, that would make sense why it's in Austin Powers.
Yeah.
It's the Basil exposition noise. That's
Yep.
what I always call it.
Yeah.
Yep.
This would've been
I bet it. I
speaking-
bet it's in that movie.
I bet
Speaking
it is.
of Austin Powers, and I think we talked about this pre-episode, this would have been a good Austin Powers movie.
Because Mike
in a lot
Myers
of ways.
would have rewritten it to be funny.
Right. Or it doesn't even have to be an Austin Powers movie, but like a movie that Mike Myers does is some kind of
Because
farce.
everything that Mike Myers does exists on this weird plane of existence where things that are goofy make sense in terms of that movie.
Right.
Bruce Willis is not that character. Or is not that guy. Is doesn't have that personality. Like,
Oh, and well, and the characters, the supporting characters would also have been more defined and actually funny. You know,
Right.
You think about all the boardroom scenes with Dr. Evil, right?
Right.
Like every one of those characters is commenting on something, is parodying something, and it's just funny,
Right.
Right.
I mean, I like
it's-
the same joke through all three movies. Like they parody themselves almost every
Yeah.
time.
Right. Well, and at times those boardroom scenes almost feel like that the movie's spinning its wheels, but it's not. It's still delivering jokes. And
Yeah.
you're
Right.
getting personality out of it. And this movie has a boardroom scene that for some reason a little tiny child Indian kid is one of the evil because I think that's supposed to be like the Illuminati,
That's a total Naked Gun kind of scene where you have those
but they never explain
No.
it.
And Sandra Bernhard is bizarrely singing "I've Got the Power,"
by Snap.
Snap, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
which that movie made an appearance in. Was it The Fisher King as well?
That song did?
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
that song.
That's also
I've Got the
1991.
Yep.
I mean, that song was huge.
It was huge.
Snap, son.
Snap.
But yeah, that
This
was
movie sucks.
Yeah. But they try to use Danny Aiello to,
Convince Bruce Willis to go to the Louvre.
but instead he's decided to bring a gun in there, and then they fake like
An
trying to
escape.
kill each other.
Right.
They jump out of a 25-foot. They do
Yeah.
a 25-foot drop off a ledge, and everyone's kind of watching them like, what the hell?
How did they survive
Yeah.
that? I mean,
How are they
without
alive?
at least broken something?
Yeah, because they land on their shoulders and shit.
Yeah, and they're fine. They're fine though.
they're good. They're good. Yeah, trust me. Let's just take a 25-foot jump off this balcony. Cool.
But Aiello,
It'll be fine.
Tommy Two Tones, this is the first time he dies in the movie and comes back.
Because it's all set up with blanks. And was it
ketchup.
set up by the Vatican?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because she had said earlier, I'm going to go see where Tommy Two Tones stands on this whole thing. And they must have set it up at that point. So they get in an ambulance. The ambulance pulls into the back of a truck, and the truck, I don't know.
Well, and also
Somebody said,
James
that's not a
Coburn,
hospital.
They spy hunter that shit.
James Coburn also
Yeah, they do.
says, yeah, they do.
Bum, 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 bum.
That's James Bond.
I know.
The Matt Helm thing was
messed up.
yeah. Anyway, so James Coburn even says to Sandra Barnhart, hey, it's a mistake leaving those guys in there alone. They're to say they're scheming their way out of this.
And she's like, "Oh, that's what we paid him for."
You
Yeah.
fucking idiots.
Yeah, they
This
are
whole-
dumb. They can't even put together 3 pieces of,
Of jewels.
yeah,
yeah.
They couldn't do a 4-square Rubik's Cube, probably. Because we've been at this all night.
Yeah. Yes, they even say that. We've been trying all night to put these 3 pieces, and Bruce Willis does it in 50 seconds.
Yeah.
And then
And he does it well enough to make it wrong.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. He's like, I even know if I slide this piece of mirror out, it's going to probably fuck it up, but I better ask Andy McDowell just in case.
Ooh, that ending was something.
That ending was something. So, okay, so what's the second time that Danny Aiello,
So he somehow ends up in the back of the car with Darwin.
Yes.
Right? It's Darwin, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Darwin.
Yeah, and he, I don't know. I don't even know what's going on in that scene, but eventually the car starts rolling.
Because they shoot the butler in the neck.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about the forehead bomb, Jason. You love that scene.
Well, we'll get
Yeah, the
there.
forehead bomb is funny.
That was before this,
Right.
But so somebody attaches a bomb to this limo they're in. Darwin jumps out of it, locks the doors so Danny Aiello can't get out, and basically he and
James Coburn
go
off a cliff.
off a cliff
And explode.
The thing explodes, and
And so
Danny
it's like-
Aiello's dead.
Yeah.
For now.
But he's not.
No.
Because the sprinkler system in
Yeah,
the back.
I mean, yeah.
It's convoluted. And then you know what Bruce Willis says? He just looks at it and is like, yeah, that probably is what
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
Because it's like,
Aiello or Tommy says twice, "Can you fucking believe it?" And we're
Yeah.
all like, "No."
no, you wise guy, we can't
No,
fucking.
we can't.
No, you greasy wop.
Yeah. Whoa.
I'm done with these people.
Yeah.
Damn.
A whole like. Yeah.
Put a hit out on me because I don't want to live anymore
it's happening.
because of this fucking movie.
I don't know this man. I don't know him.
I got friends in New York.
I have
Probably gonna
all
be mad at me.
What
for hanging
about
out
what
with
about
I have
New
all
Jersey?
the love and respect for
have
Italian Americans.
Okay.
Yep.
These guys.
I grew up with all those Italian Americans, so I got to try.
Oh, were you one of the writers on this movie?
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm gonna beat the shit out of
Yep.
you.
Which one was it that got the bomb to the face? Was it?
That was Snickers.
Yeah.
Snickers.
That was okay. Yeah.
So
Before this crazy ending, apparently Snickers had a golf bag that had a cannon that shot out timed bombs.
Yes, which are awesome.
Yeah,
that
they're
apparently
actually pretty cool. I
stick.
want one of those.
Yeah, I know.
They stick, and then they have a 2-minute timer.
If you set it,
Yeah,
for 2 minutes,
you cannot
Right.
set the timer. We found out.
right?
Yeah, that's right. They had a lot of those bombs.
Yeah, I mean they were endless. That golf bag was huge. It was like Chuck Norris's butt mortars,
Butt mortars.
whatever those were called. But yeah, they were endless.
Yeah, but Snickers shoots himself in the face by accident.
No,
Well, it
Aiello trips
Yeah.
Almond Joy, who accidentally
No.
knocks into him. Okay, well you tell it if you know
what
it.
happened.
So-
Somehow he gets a bomb in his face. And it's funny.
basically they.
And I laughed,
they're gonna.
and then it explodes.
Yep. Second man.
That's
explode.
fucking
It
funny.
doesn't fucking matter. You just said what happened. Basically, they've been paralyzed, which is also why Andy McDowell later starts talking like a dolphin. That's gonna haunt my nightmares.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and well, she was acting.
I think she was acting.
She wasn't still really paralyzed.
Andy McDowell doesn't act.
Right. But that was but this character
Okay.
does.
Anyway. So they're starting to get anyway, so the candy bars are going to blow them up, and it's like you got in 2 minutes. But hey, in just about 1:55, you're going to have feelings in you. Then you got 5 seconds to stop the bomb thing.
But Aiello starts to have feelings
Immediately.
right away, way sooner. And
And then there's like shit that happens, and then the guy they shoot the guy, and the guy gets a fucking bomb stuck to his forehead, and they also paralyze Almond Joy by blowing the dart back up through her
into her mouth.
Yeah.
Which I don't think that would work because
No.
the sticky side's on the
The
other
dart
side.
would have been the wrong way.
Right, she would have just been choking on the dart.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's another one. In the ambulance, they had all the hypodermic needles that were all somehow sticking up with
Without
the
caps.
needle point up without caps.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's stupid.
Suspension of disbelief, guys. Come
Yeah.
on.
This is suspension of disbelief. The movie is what this movie should have been called.
Yeah. The Adventures of Suspension of Disbelief.
The movie.
The movie. With.
Catch the suspension of disbelief. Embrace the suspension of.
You have to embrace that. You have to.
Yeah.
If you're going to get any enjoyment out of this movie.
We are somehow over an hour talking about this
Okay,
movie.
well, you've
how the
been
hell did that
listening
happen?
to film.
Credits roll.
And credits.
So the crazy ending, Chuck. You want to talk about this crazy ass
I
ending?
guess, yeah. So he puts the thing together the wrong way. He looks at Andy McDowell and says, "Hey, if I left this piece out, would that mess things up?"
And she's like, yes.
and they're talking out of the side of their mouths, but loudly. It's kind of stupid.
This
Funny.
whole movie's stupid.
Yeah.
It's par for the course at this
But, yeah.
point, so that's brilliant.
I got
for this
kind of
movie.
a chuckle out of that,
Yeah, sure.
I guess. But so the machine doesn't do its job. It somehow turns Minerva into like bronze. I think she looks like she's been coated in something.
Yeah, I think it's bronze or lead or something.
Right. So then the machine starts to fall apart. The wires break, and then Darwin has them, and he gets electrocuted to death. And then there's a fight with Coburn and Hudson. Oh no! Before that, there's the dude, the butler. Actually, I liked his suit knives, but I don't know
Yeah.
if they came out because he had shirt. No, whatever.
So they,
Because they flip out. You think they-
how that works is that there's a mechanism that pops him out from under his sleeve,
And
right?
then
And
they
then the
flip.
knife flips out.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
contraption.
It is cool.
But Hudson
Movie's
gets
great.
shot. So
Reappraisal.
yeah, they go into this weird like, is this my turn or your turn to kill this person? Like he and Andy McDowell's character, and she tries to help him, and she ends up shooting his belt buckle once, and then she shoots him in the arm.
Yeah. And he's like, I don't want your help anymore.
Yeah, and then Bruce like takes this guy's knives and Hudson, excuse me, jeez, takes the knife, sticks him in the door, and then swings the door, and somehow that makes the guy cut his own head off.
And then he's gonna miss the hat convention.
yeah, then he misses the hat convention, which
Tragic.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You fine.
So then the dog comes back.
Yeah.
And like they do the joke again about is this my turn or your turn? The dog jumps at her like the bunny rabbit from Monty Python, which is actually kind of funny.
Yeah. Because she's worthless.
Yeah,
Really.
she is worthless. She's none. She has none.
And who the fuck cares at this point? I mean, just have a killer dog, attacking killer poodle. I mean, who gives a shit?
Well,
if you're still watching this movie, like,
Congratulations.
yeah, congratulations. This is your reward.
You've arrived. You're gonna see a dog get shot out of a castle
with a tennis ball firing mechanism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which they showed us that earlier, so there was a bit of
Oh, this
foreshadowing
movie's
there.
intelligent.
Yeah.
I'm going to write an article now
Yeah.
that's going to be called Why Hudson Hawk is the Best Movie You've Ever Seen and Didn't Know It.
Didn't know.
Written by a bunch of wise guys.
Clickbait.
Clickbait and credits.
Yep. Fuck this movie. Fuck it. Fuck that guy who reappraises this movie, too. If you like this movie, you suck.
Yeah.
Period.
You told,
do you
told
recommend
that
it?
guy.
For a bad movie night,
Sorry,
absolutely.
I had to
Yeah, you always ask that, Chuck.
I know I do.
Fuck you, man.
This movie does have that bad movie night rewatchability.
It does have that redeeming quality.
But this is a movie you invite people over to watch with
so
you.
you got
Right.
to watch this shit.
You
Yeah.
don't, but you don't give it to them and say go off on your own with your friends.
No,
You
let's
invite
let's
people.
let's have a 6-pack and watch Hudson Hawk and laugh at it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what movies? I can list millions of movies that are better than this.
All
Over
of
the
them?
Millions of movies.
top. Cobra.
Why you just listen to
Blind
Sylvester
Date.
Stallone movies? Oh,
No, I mean, there's a Bruce Willis movie that's
All
better
right,
than
all
this.
right.
Color of Night is better than this movie.
Yeah.
Jade is better than this movie.
Yeah.
This is one of the worst movies we've ever watched for the show because it was so fucking frustrating to
Is
watch.
The Room better than this movie?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
Well,
it's not.
It's more charming than this movie is.
It's I think it's on the level of The Room.
Whoa. Okay.
I think it's
There's more charm to the room.
The Room.
The Worm.
The Worm.
And if there's a movie called The Worm,
It's
it's
better
better
than
than the
this.
Hudson Hawk.
Yeah.
But I think that it tries to be something that it's not and fails in all the same ways.
That's fair.
That's all right.
I would, if you guys
But Lisa's red dress, man.
asked me to watch The Room or Hudson Hawk, and this is unfair because I just watched Hudson Hawk, but I think I would pick The Room. Every
Oh,
time.
The Room. Yeah. Yeah. I'd watch The Room by myself. I have many times.
Yeah.
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 I would not watch Hudson Hawk by myself unless I had a fresh box of razor blades and a warm bath.
Wow. Well, the Jersey
because of
guys
that-
can cancel the hit.
Yeah,
Jeff's gonna
because
kill himself.
because at this point, if you're watching Hudson Hawk by yourself,
You have a death wish.
you do. Your life is over.
Yeah.
you need antidepressants.
You need that whole bottle of Xanax.
You're working at the video rental place and someone comes in to rent it and you have friends, right?
Yeah, please.
Don't do it.
Speed dial
Life is
number
worth
3 is
living.
the suicide hotline. Speed dial number 3
Right.
on at the video store.
Right. It's
All
funny
right.
after this movie ends that the Amazon messes
Fucked out.
Yeah,
it's like, I'm
something
done.
went wrong.
An
And we're
error
like,
has
yeah,
occurred. Something is wrong.
please try again. No.
No,
We accidentally
Something
played the
went
entire movie. This has never happened before.
All of Amazon is crumbling around us right now.
It's like
We found
we've never.
like
The trigger.
the trigger to their destruction. They thought they could hide it at the end of Hudson Hawk. Because surely no one will ever watch that whole movie.
Oh, that's amazing.
At least outside of New Jersey.
That's amazing. Yeah. Well, they all own copies of it.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. We don't want to watch no fucking movies on the fucking streaming.
No, they have their VHS tapes.
Yeah. And they all smell of like tobacco, like of cigar smoke. Yeah.
They all have the
bourbon
ring,
yeah.
a bourbon ring on
Yeah.
the sticker. Yeah. Because this movie would be a better coaster.
than a movie.
Yeah.
They're-
Oh, catch the coaster. Hudson Hawk.
Shit.
Yeah.
This movie sucks.
Yeah.
We're gonna walk outside. It's gonna be like the beginning of the Dawn of the Dead remake, or 28 days later.
Everything's crashing.
Because we brought down Amazon. Walk out. It was like, what? It's pretty quiet out here.
Oh shit! Airplane comes.
Oh shit! It's like that person's acting strangely. Are they getting stabbed? Plane crashes totally.
Ooh, Jason's broken. That is pretty.
I'm broken
that's
now.
really funny though.
I'm
That's
broken.
Actually, that's the movie we should make. Hudson Hawk 2, The End of the World.
Yeah.
Three guys watch Hudson Hawk, and then the end of the world happens.
Good. Oh, we'd get a potty for that.
Oh, jeez. All right, so
Post-apocalyptic potty.
there's only one place to go from here. Up. What's next week, Jason?
Oh yeah. So next week is Richard Kelly's pseudo masterpiece, failure, success, conundrum, Southland Tales.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, you're going to be frustrated.
No.
You're going to be
Is it going
frustrated.
to be like Hudson Hawk frustrated or Cloud Atlas frustrated? I'd rather be Cloud Atlas frustrated.
For real?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, because that's actually a movie. Again, that's art, right?
Right.
It's just not my art.
It could be a little bit of both.
Oh, no.
It could be a little bit of both.
Oh, no.
We're gonna have to sit you in front of us so we can watch you watch it.
It's
I
gonna
know
be
where-
it's gonna
I
be
know where the
interesting to
box opener
see
is, guys.
how Jeff reacts to this movie. Yeah,
Okay, well, that's next week.
that's next week.
I'm looking forward to it. Then we got the Postman at the end of the month, which is good.
I don't know that I've seen that in
20 years.
yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So, anyway, hey, Chuck,
Yeah.
where can people find our shit?
Oh, at filmseizure.com, Facebook, the Twitters. Yeah, you can go to SoundCloud even and grab it. Jeff's got some things that he does on Monday, which is Monster Mondays.
That's also on filmseizure.com.
Yep. And then Friday, he makes you shit yourself with the B movie Enema.
Yep.
And then Saturday, you have, I'll let you talk about this.
Yeah, 00 Saturdays. So 1 week it's like a review / essay on the movie. And then the following week, I talk about the music of that movie and just back and forth throughout the year of 2020. And really makes sense now that No Time to Die has been postponed.
I actually thought that
because that actually works
kind
out
of
better.
works in your favor. Yeah.
Although it's going to hurt it in the review because it's either going to be recency syndrome or it's going to be I am not going to be able to marinate
because
on it
it's
long
gonna
enough.
yeah.
Why don't you
and-
wait until, when does this end? This ends at the end of the year.
At the end of the year.
So
But
then
you've already watched them all.
Yeah.
Right.
But then you can wait to January to write your review. Or,
But
I don't know. Yeah, I'll bring Jeff.
Well, Jeff was trying to watch them all right before watching the new one, so
Yeah.
it'd all be like in
Fresh.
one continuity, fresh.
Oh,
and then I would wait to write the review for the new one when it came out on DVD so I could watch it again after I've seen it a few times.
I got you.
But I'm not going to be able to do that this time. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
It'll be all right.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
It's gonna
be
be awesome.
perfect.
Also on Wednesdays, you get new episodes of Film Seizure.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. And then every now and then we got Film Seizure at the movies.
Yeah, where
So-
Jeff picks a seat or saves a seat.
I pick my seat often.
Yeah, you pick your seat.
And my nose.
Yep.
But not my friends. You guys, I don't know how you guys got here.
Yeah, he slurps butts.
Slurps butts, picks nose. All right.
I'm useless, guys.
Yeah.
Slurp my butt.
Yeah. So anyway, until next week when we get into the Richard Kelly-ness of it all, I am Jeff Arbuckle.
I'm Chuck Moore.
I'm Jason Oliver, and you have been listening to Film Seizure.
Or would you rather be a fish Fish is an animal that swims in a brook. He can't write his name or read a book.
To fool the people is his only thought, and though he's slippery, he still gets caught.